A beautiful night in Conway, Arkansas, as the smallest classification in Arkansas sports arrives on the biggest stage. It is the 1A Girls Softball Championship between the Taylor Tigers and the Bradley Lady Bears. Welcome to Ferris Field alongside Bobby Swafford. I am Dorian Kraft. Bobby, when you think about excellence in softball in the state of Arkansas, you think about the Taylor Tigers. Taylor playing in their 6th consecutive state championship game, looking to be just the second program in state history to win 6 in a row. But to do that, they are going to have to defeat their rival, Bradley.
And not only to get here 6 years in a row, but to have to won the last 5. But their biggest rival, as you mentioned, they share a school district only 19 miles away. The 5th meeting between these two teams. They split the first 4. Of course, ultimate bragging rights on the line today.
Split the first 4 games, all the statistics very even. Let's take a look at how both teams got to this point playing for this 1A state championship. We start with the Bradley Lady Bears. They beat County Line 18-3 in the opening round. Very convincing win. Another convincing win over Calico Rock 6-1. And continuing to just roll through the bracket, Bradley making their presence known with an 8-1 win over Wonderview to get the matchup with Taylor. And for the Lady Bears, it is all about Jackie Kellner in the lineup.
Yeah, she does it all for the Lady Bears. How about a .584 batting average, an on-base percentage of almost 600? But how about that last number on your screen? 50 RBIs. That's a real number. When you only play 30, 32 games, 50 RBIs just jumps off your screen. She is going to be the reason this team does or does not succeed, and mainly succeeds. That's why they're here in the finals.
I like how you say that's a real number. Let's be honest, that's a video game number, having 50 RBI in the season for the Lady Bears. Meanwhile, for the Taylor Tigers, their road has been an easy one as well, with a 17-0 win over Mulberry to start, then moving on a little bit closer, a 4-0 win over Viola, and then moving on 3-1 over Midland. So Taylor getting closer and closer in those margins. And you want to talk about close games. There have been no more closer games that Taylor has played than Bradley this year. But for Taylor, they are paced both in the circle and at the plate by Ayla Buford.
Yeah, she does it both with the stick, with the ball in her hand, the glove, doesn't matter. How about a .481 batting average, a .588 on base percentage, and then to make things even better, 135 innings pitched. How about 140 strikeouts and an ERA of 1.09. So that means she's just giving up 1 run every time she steps out onto the field. When she's got it working in the circle, Taylor's really tough to beat, and also kind of mainly why they're, a 5-time defending state champion, the regional champion, and of course the home team here today.
Having success in both the field and at the plate. And you talk about how close the last 4 games have been. Taylor, Bradley, they've split the previous 4 meetings. The total runs, 11-11. The total hits, Bradley has 15, Taylor has 14. Errors, Bradley has 7, Taylor has 5. That just really speaks to how close this series has been this year.
Yeah, it really does. And the more important thing is Bradley won the 2 regular season meetings.
Right.
And so they win the conference championship, but it matters in the postseason. Taylor won the contest in the regional tournament. That's why they were the #1 seed coming into the state tournament, and also why they have home field advantage because they get the higher seed here today. And so Taylor knows how to win big games in the big moment. You mentioned the 5 consecutive wins here in the championship game. They know how to get the job done when it matters most. But how do they handle the pressure of not only playing here in Conway at UCA, but their best friends, their biggest rivals, the school that's just 19 miles down the street? When they get on the bus, it literally says Bradley Emerson Taylor School District. It has all 3 of their names right there on the bus. And so, they can't even get on their own school bus without having to see that other team's name. This game is going to mean a lot to both of these squads.
Bobby, to your point, you speak about the experience for Taylor coming in the 5 previous state championships. How much does that play into going for #6, knowing that you've been in this situation before?
Honestly, I think with each passing year, I think the pressure just grows and grows because the expectation is there. A lot of times you see professional or college teams who are always so successful, you just raise that bar every year, and it's a disappointment when you don't meet that expectation. Now for Taylor softball, even Taylor baseball, who, by the way, just went back-to-back with a win today, the expectation is not to make the state tournament, not to make the state finals. The expectation is to win a state championship. And I really do think when you're 16 to 18 years old, that pressure can kind of get to you. It hasn't gotten to Taylor in the last 5 years. But at some point, will they crack? Will today be that day? I'm not sure it is. But obviously they're facing a squad who knows everything about them and is right there with them. It's amazing to see that these two teams have played four games against each other and scored the exact same number of runs.
Also, at what point, since Taylor baseball won the state title earlier today, at what point do we crown Taylor the champions of Diamond Sports as the best Diamond Sports program in the state?
Yeah, spring sports down south certainly can or take control of the best team. I've always wanted to give an overall championship, as far as, starting the fall and ending the spring. Taylor would be right in the middle of that conversation.
Well, we are just about set here from Ferris Field on the 1A state championship between Bradley and Taylor. A first pitch delivered on the outside corner for a strike. It will be Emily Lyons, Maddie McDonald, and Jackie Kellner to lead things off for the Bradley Lady Bears. Ainsley Moore, if anybody gets on. And Bradley looking to strike first. Buford. A little bit off the outside corner, 1-1.
Of course, the early innings is always that feeling out process. Whose nerves are going to be able to settle in. Of course, finding the strike zone is step number one, but also making your opponent throw strikes or making your opponent swing the bat is going to be key as well.
Fouled away as Buford works in the head in the count 1-2. And to go back to the comfort level and the familiarity between these two teams, it's not just the two teams, but to be comfortable and familiar with the opposing pitcher. How much does that play into how this matchup differs from the previous four?
Yeah, there's going to be no surprises between these two teams. They know exactly the pitching repertoire that they're going to face.
Swung on and missed for strike 3.
Yeah, they're not going to be surprised by anything. It's not like they can magically throw a new play in like you can in football or basketball or even volleyball to a certain extent. You know exactly what you're going to see from your opponent. The key is, can you go out there and get the job done and outplay them on the biggest stage?
Buford getting the job done for the first batter in the Lady Bears lineup, now facing Maddie McDonald inside the box. First pitch swinging for a strike.
And I like how she's attacking the strike zone early. That's always key. And, of course, you always want to get ahead in the count, then you can expand the zone and make hitters chase.
McDonald batting .393 on the year. Off the outside corner, flared out into right field, just foul.
McDonald did a really nice job of staying back as long as she could on that changeup. Really had to slow the bat down and just couldn't slow down enough to keep that one fair.
McDonald been a tough out on the season, only 2 strikeouts in 110 plate appearances, so typically puts the ball in play, finding herself down 0-2 in the count here in the top of the first. The 0-2 called low.
In today's day and age, when it's all about, power numbers and launch angle, to see someone put the bat on the ball that often, you strike it only twice in the entire season, is not only great to see, it's refreshing because it just doesn't happen very often anymore.
2 strikeouts, 17 walks, so ball in play. Flaps that one foul down the right field line. I don't think they've really gotten to talking about launch angle in softball that much yet. I think that's probably the next step in the sport.
Probably not far from it. It's always that trickle-down effect.
Enough home runs hit in the sport nowadays to start working in exit velocity, launch angle. The 1-2 fouled away again as McDonald working hard inside the box.
McDonald putting that together a nice at bat here. Quality outs, you mentioned that in the first game we called today, the 6A state championship. It's an out in baseball, softball is not necessarily a bad thing as long as it's a quality at bat. She's making her work, so obviously we'll try to run that pitch count up as high as you can.
Swung on and missed, so back-to-back strikeouts for Ayla Buford to start the 1A state championship game.
It's a nice job by Buford just to continue to attack the zone, make them put the bat on the ball, and she's been so great at it all year long. Had McDonald, but this time not able to make contact, and the first 2 batters have been set down swinging.
3rd strikeout of the year of Maddie McDonald. It's Taylor throwing to the ever-dangerous Jackie Kellner, who fouls away the first.
584 batting average, 4 homers, 50 RBIs. 26 extra base hits, so she's dangerous. Even not necessarily to leave the yard every time, but she has got power to all fields.
26 extra base hits, 59 hits overall, so more than half of Kellner's base hits are extra bases. That's going to go for extra bases. It's going to go for all 4. A home run for Jackie Kellner to put Bradley on top in the first.
Yeah, I mentioned she's got power to all field, and she certainly has power to the gap. And that one middle in and able to just turn on it and launch it to the cheap seats out in left center field. And what a big boost to Bradley to start this game and give themselves some confidence against the 5-time defending champs.
Boomed out to the berm here at Ferris Field. That gets the Bradley fans on their feet. Lady Bears with the 1-0 lead. Take a look at this.
Just left that one up over the plate, about let her high, and Kellner able to do the rest. Nice swing and able to trot around the bases.
No better feeling than hitting a home run in the state championship game. 5th of the year for Kellner. How big is it for the Lady Bears to have plated one early?
I think it's big, especially against this Taylor team. Take a lead before they come up to the plate. They've beaten them twice this year, so it's not like you have this huge, I guess, aura about themselves that they can't be beaten, like you've lost to them 2 or 3 or 4 times in a season. They know that they're just as good as they are, but jumping out to a lead on this stage where Taylor has had so much success, you never know how that's going to translate and how they handle those emotions.
First pitch in the turf to Ainsley Moore. And to your point, the games this season have been close. Bradley won 2-1 back on March 14th. Taylor won 3-0 on March the 18th. That one roped out into the left field gap. That's going to be extra bases as Moore turning the corner. She's going to be into second with a stand-up double. A little bit of contact at the base, but Moore will be safe. So back-to-back 2-out hits for Bradley.
You can tell Bradley's kind of timed up the pitching already. As we've seen 2 to the power alley in left center field. First, the home run from Kellner. Now Moore does a nice job of just turning on this one on a rope, a one-hopper to the fence, and able to get into second base. Not the most graceful trot into second base, but hey, you'll take what you can get. Now she's in scoring position.
They all count the same as long as you are safe. And so now Moore standing on second base as Chelsea Whitford steps to the plate.
357 average, a lot of really high numbers in this Bradley lineup, as you'd expect.
Little flare snagged over at first by McHenry, and that is the end of the inning. But Bradley gets on the board thanks to a solo home run off the bat of Jackie Kellner. Lady Bears have the lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
Bought it because I loved it.
Find out if Leslie loves it too next time on Antiques Roadshow from Little Rock, Arkansas.
At a time when America has become increasingly divided, it's important to consider the things that connect us.
His vision is broader than the American Revolution.
The things that he spoke of, that he wrote about, had a certain amount of power.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
Let's go! At Wendy's, we're focused on what matters. That's why we've made our hamburgers square. When you want to experience the delicious taste of Wendy's hamburgers, squares the beef. Welcome back to Ferris Field. Bottom of the first inning, Taylor finding themselves trailing 1-0 courtesy of a Jackie Kellner 2-out solo home run. And now the Tigers will come to bat with a chance to tie. They will be led off by Ayla Buford. Madison Lindsay and Reese Fowler due up here in the home half of the first. Maggie McHenry waiting should anybody get on. And they will be facing Ainsley Moore inside the circle. The first pitch swinging for a strike.
A lot of softball left here, Dorian, but you got to think of always answer time. You always want to be able to bounce back and respond. Obviously, Bradley struck first with the home run. What can Taylor do to respond? Obviously, at the top of the order is a good place to start.
Ripped out to right field. That's a leadoff single for Buford. And Taylor Tigers in business. Madison Lindsay hitting in the 2-hole for the Tigers. .397 average for the junior, .534 on base percentage. And if there is one player in the Taylor lineup that has a ton of power at the plate, it is Lindsay. 10 home runs on the season. Taken on the outside corner for a called strike.
So Buford's coming. Moore is obviously not afraid to attack the zone. And that's what you have to do. Make them beat you early on. Make them prove that they can put the ball in play consistently.
Now that ball put out to play into left center field. It's going to get down. Buford being held at third. Now back-to-back hits for the Taylor Tigers off of the double by Madison Lindsay.
A nice job by Lindsay to really stay down. When you see the replay on this, you can see her head stay down and through the softball, and just follows that one through, goes the opposite way and double into the gap, and just like that, Taylor's got runners in second and third, nobody out.
How quickly Taylor can strike despite being down 1 run. And Reese Fowler, the number 3 hitter, .250 average, .372 on base percentage, with a big RBI opportunity here in the home half of the first.
If you're Moore, you just have to really settle in, commit to Arkansas Tech. 1.61 ERA, strikes out 210 in just 130 innings of work. So she's capable, she's got the skill set. She just has to really settle the nerves and find her groove.
1-0, left high, 2-0. Do you like the decision to hold Buford at third?
I mean, depending on who you play. I mean, because obviously they know their opponent very well. If they're tempted to, lay down a squeeze here, maybe try to keep her a little closer.
The 2-0 to Fowler. Squeeze attempted, goes back to the backstop. Buford on her way in, she is safe. This game is tied at 1.
That's the one thing you have to be able to avoid here in the state championship game, and really at any level, you can't afford those cheap runs. You've already given up a single and a double to start this contest. Make them earn the runs. Obviously, that one goes to the backstop on the wild pitch, and you got to get home and make that play or try to, and you can't afford to give up cheap runs against a team as successful as Taylor's been.
Lindsay moved to third on the wild pitch as well, so now just 60 feet away from Taylor taking the lead. Ball in play down the third base line, but foul. And Bobby, clearly you and Taylor thinking along the same lines as Fowler has shown bunt on each of the last 2 pitches.
Yeah, you're just trying to push those runs across when they're ever so important. You've played against Bradley 4 times this year, and you've only scored 11 runs. I'm not a great math guy, but that's, it's a little more than 2 runs, less than 3 runs per contest. So runs are going to be at a premium, so when you've got a chance to push one across the scoring position, you got to take advantage.
2-2 sent out to left field in shallow left. The catch is not made. The ball will get down. Lindsay will score. Being waved around to third is Fowler. She is in with an RBI triple. 3 straight hits for the Taylor Tigers. Played 2 runs, a single, a double, and a triple in order.
Yeah, you really like the effort there by the left fielder, Emily Young, but once that ball gets by her, there's nothing but green grass in front of Fowler, and she's able to get all the way over to third, and just when you thought the damage was done, again, Taylor has a runner in scoring position and still nobody out.
No one out here in the home half of the first inning. Taylor, all 3 batters have reached 2 runs in as Maggie McHenry swings through the first pitch for a strike. And the lineup doesn't get any easier for Bradley as McHenry batting .436, the senior with 9 home runs on the year, of .527 on base percentage. The 0-1 taken high.
Runs haven't been real plentiful in the series against one another. 2-1, 3-0, 3-2. Only 1 game in which they combined for 11. They're really you could call an offensive outburst. So these runners in scoring position are going to be really important as both of these pitching staffs have been dominant.
The 11 combined runs came on April the 19th. That was a win by Bradley before Taylor took the last meeting between these two. That was in the regional final back on May 6th. That also a 3-2 game. So it feels like we're on pace for a few more. They called strike at the top of the zone. That evens the count at 2-2.
Sun's starting to set here in Conway, and that could place a factor, of course, in the outfield as you can start to see the shadows, especially in the left field is completely engulfed in shadows, but center and right still in the sun. So kind of pay attention to that, see if that comes into play.
McHenry steps back out of the box as the home plate umpire goes to talk to the Bradley head coach. You're getting a look at first-year head coach Kyle Foster speaking to the home plate umpire. Home plate umpire tonight, Lawrence Askew. At first base, it's Theron Scott, and Jeff Boone over at third is the umpiring crew. Courtney McHenry down at third base for Taylor. So it is 2-2. Still no one out for Taylor in the bottom of the first inning, 2 runs in. Chopped, it's going to squib just out of the reach of Kellner at home, so McHenry will come back to the plate. We'll do the 2-2 again.
I feel like this is a big moment, especially for Bradley. You know, the damage has already been done. You've already given up the lead that you had, but you can't let this one get out of hand.
Moore. The 2-2. That one up and away. Here comes Fowler. She's in. And Taylor has plated 3 now in the bottom of the first inning after falling behind 1-0. This is a huge response from the Tigers.
It really is. I mean, 3 base hits are one thing, but 2 of those 3 runs have now scored on wild pitches. So you have to be able to settle down, and self-inflicted wounds are the easiest way to lose a state championship game. We've seen it time and time again. Baseball, softball, no matter what sport it is, you can't shoot yourself in the foot, and this time Bradley has given up 2 runs, granted on 3 base hits, but 2 runs on wild pitches, and now Taylor's out to a 3-1 lead.
You talk about the importance of settling down. What is the best way for a pitcher to settle down in this situation?
I mean, at a full count here, a punch out would be really big. Just to Moore's, her numbers all season long have been through the roof as far as the strikeout numbers. To get a strikeout would be huge.
In play over to second base. Over to first in time for the first out of the inning as Lane makes a throw over to Whitfield.
I mean, to get into a psyche of a pitcher, you know, granted, I was not one, so I don't have that same psyche. But if you consider yourself a strikeout pitcher, with Moore obviously is, you're talking 210 strikeouts and 130 innings of work. So every time you step onto the rubber, you're expecting to strike out 1 out of every 3. And when you start to have, you know, the team consistently put the ball in play, now 4 straight batters, maybe that creeps into your mind that, hey, maybe I don't have my best stuff today.
Catches the lower part of the zone going up against Michaela Downs. Downs, another one of these Taylor Tigers with a home run on the resume, 2 on the year with a .268 average, and goes after the rise ball. And quickly ahead in the count 0-2. That also helps when you're struggling inside the circle.
Anytime you can force the team to chase, that's not when you know your stuff's good.
Change up, floats high.
But Moore obviously is equipped to settle down. You 130 innings, a 1.61 ERA, only 71 hits allowed. You know, committed to play at the next level.
Swung on and missed for strike 3. First strikeout of the night for Ainsley Moore.
Yeah, sometimes all it takes is that first swing and miss, that first out to be recorded. You can start to calm down, settle the nerves a little bit. You don't feel like the weight of the world's on top of your shoulders, and now you can go out and throw your game.
2 away here for Taylor in the home half of the first. Madison McClellan standing in. Takes a called first strike.
I'm going to start to see her to relax a little bit and throw with a little more confidence.
The 0-1. Fouled away and quickly ahead in the count 0-2.
So after the first 3 batters reached and then scored, this would be big for Ainsley Moore to come back and get the next 3 batters and get back in the dugout and let her offense try to chip away at this Taylor lead.
The 0-2. Taken low and away. McClellan, the junior, Hitting .304 on the year, .385 on base percentage. Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
A big bounce back to end that inning.
Moore getting back-to-back strikeouts to end the first, but Taylor gets 3. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Can you see her greatness? When you attend her games, when you cheer her on, or when you participate in any way, you support your community and make it better, and you will see her greatness. Join us as we pledge to increase the visibility of women's sports in our communities. It makes a difference when we all are involved. At Everett Buick GMC, we proudly support our local female athletes and encourage you to do the same. See her greatness.
Arkansas, what's in your attic? Find out what your heirlooms, antiques, and collectibles are worth. Join us for the filming of a brand new show, Arkansas Treasures. This special event happens at the Arkansas PBS Studios in Conway on August 5th and 6th. Tickets will go quickly, so guarantee your spot by calling or visiting our website. If your item and story are selected for filming, you may end up on our show. Your treasure may be worth more than you know.
1, 2, 3, turn up! Whoa. What's going on in here? Let's go!
Griffin Leggett Funeral Home is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports, serving the Conway area, located at 1751 Dave Ward Drive in Conway. Griffin Leggett proudly serving our communities in Central Arkansas since 1936. Already lots of offense here in the 1A state championship between the Bradley Lady Bears and the Taylor Tigers. Bradley got on the board first, courtesy of a solo home run by Jackie Kellner, before Taylor pounced for 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Now it will be Kelsey Whitford, Aiden Alexander, and Tara Weems due up for Bradley in the top of the second. Allie Lane hitting in the 9 hole should anyone get on. First pitch, ball from Buford.
Especially in this context. It's a second inning. You don't have to come back and worry about tying the game up here in this frame. If you're Bradley to stay with your approach, you had a game plan coming into it. Facing a pitcher like Buford who start to chip away, trying to run that pitch count up and see if you can start to wear her down and then push Russell.
First 2 pitches have missed high and outside. If any of the games today have shown us anything, you think back to the 6A state championship between Bryan and Cabot. Bryan down to their final 3 outs before they were able to turn the tide in their favor. Lots of game left to go. There's a strike.
This is not the same batter who ended the last inning. This is Kelsey Whitfield, her twin sister. They're both freshmen. Chelsea Whitfield, back-to-back in the lineup. Number 16 and 30 for Bradley. So 2 freshmen starting. They're right in the middle of the lineup for Bradley.
Put in play over to short. Nolte with a strong throw to first to retire Whitford.
So that tells you that they're really good this year and going to be really, really good for the next 3 years. As long as the 2 Whitfields are right in the middle of that lineup, the future is certainly bright for Bradley, but they're wanting to not worry about the future and maybe win a title today.
A young team taking the field for Bradley, to your point. Lady Bears with a lot of underclassmen, so setting up what could be a rivalry for years to come, even more so than it already is. First pitch fouled away off of the bat of Aiden Alexander. Alexander hitting .282 on the year. 6 doubles, 1 triple. Swings and misses as Buford quickly ahead in the count 0-2.
Yeah, chase that one up and out of the zone now. Buford being up 0-2, she kind of can really dive into her repertoire, maybe try to get her to chase another one out of the zone and get an easy punch out.
Buford dealing with some shadows on the pitching rubber here at Ferris Field. 0-2. Taken outside for a called ball.
I'll defer to you on this. How difficult is it if the pitcher's in the sun and you've got shade, sun, and then shade where you are as a hitter? Does that really affect the ball, or Or is this where the yellow softball actually comes into play and helps you out a little bit?
Softball helps, but the way that the stripes are, is that's a change-up swung on and missed for strike 3. But there are only 2 strips of light that are coming across the lane for the rubber to the plate, so not too much, but it is a little bit more difficult.
In about 10 minutes, that won't matter as the sun continues to set here in Conway. But it's a conversation piece, at least for right now.
Getting a little bit of a late start here in the 1A state championship game as Tara Weems takes the ball high. Game between Bryant and Cabot in the 6A state championship. 2.5-hour battle between 6A Titans. So about 12 minutes late with first pitch here in the 1A state title game. Lined out to left field, just foul. So really nice swing there from Weems.
I like the idea of going the other way by Weems, and there's a good look at the sun beaming down as it is now 7:37 Central Daylight Time.
Beautiful night for softball here in the state of Arkansas.
We can use a lot more of this tomorrow. Weather, stay away.
Swung on and missed strike 2 as Bobby is trying to manifest good weather in Conway for tomorrow.
Doing all that I can. I don't know if I have that much power, though.
Man of many talents. You do play-by-play, you do color analysis.
I do math every now and then.
Occasionally. Tapper back to the pitcher, over to first in time, 1-2-3 inning. Lady Bears go down in order. Still 3-1 Taylor as we head to the bottom of the second. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first. By empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charity, education, and exceptional service. Because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
We never gonna stop.
The Children's Clinic of Conway and Greenbrier is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports. The Children's Clinic of Conway and Greenbrier serving Conway and surrounding areas with locations at 2505 College Avenue, Conway, and 10 Lois Lane in Greenbrier. First pitch swinging strike to Ashlyn Clark as the Taylor Tigers come to bat, leading 3-1 in the bottom of the second.
I think this is a really big inning for Ainsley Moore, the pitcher for Bradley. He's just a junior, but retired the final 3 to get out of that first inning. Now you're facing the bottom 3 of the lineup. Now get yourself in the dugout really quickly. Let your offense get out there and do some work.
7, 8, 9 due up for Taylor here in the bottom of the second inning. All batters hitting around 300 or better, so there is power and good hitting up and down this Taylor lineup.
And much like the lineup for Bradley, not a lot of seniors on this Taylor roster either. And you look at the lineup, just one senior in the starting lineup today, and that's the coach's daughter, Madigan Henry.
Clark takes ball too low. You're right, Buford a sophomore in the circle. Sophomore and Clark at the plate now. Freshman Aniston Nolte coming up next. And so these two teams really prepared to battle each other for years to come. Tapped foul, 2-2.
Just imagine, only 18 miles separate these two schools. How thankful are the rest of the state, especially 1A, that there are multiple high schools down there? Because they wouldn't be touchable if these two schools played together.
Called on strike 3 on the outside corner. And it's 3 straight strikeouts for Ainsley Moore.
She really seems to have settled down, found herself a rhythm, and now she's just rearing back and throwing it and challenging this Taylor lineup.
Moore threw 25 pitches in that first inning. A nice curveball on the outside corner there to freeze Clark. He's now come back and retired 4 in a row and gets a first pitch swinging strike from Nolte.
One thing it also does, and this is kind of those hidden things in baseball and softball, when you're around the plate and you're starting to kind of control a little bit, that strike zone kind of expands for you because the umpiring crew expects you to be right in the zone, and they kind of give you the benefit of the doubt more times than not.
They swung on and missed for strike 2, and not just the umpires, but the batters inside the box as well.
So they'll expand the zone, expecting you to throw strikes, and that's really where you have everybody in the park in the palm of your hand.
The 0-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, a little extra velocity on that.
Yeah, some late movement too, diving in on the hands, and Moore is really feeling it. 4 consecutive strikeouts, and now another out away from getting a 1-2-3 inning.
Late breaking rise ball moving up out of the zone on the outer part of the plate. And starting to see why Moore has been able to put together such a successful season.
She's a high volume strikeout pitcher. A lot of swings and misses against her. And you're really starting to see why. Taylor is able to jump on her early, but she settled in. I feel like this is the kind of pitcher we're going to see for the duration.
So how important was it for Taylor to get those 3 early runs?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, anytime you can jump out to an early lead, especially against a really good pitcher, you're going to take that. And I think that's probably, I haven't seen the season stats, obviously haven't seen every game you play, but I bet that's very, very few times has she given up 3 consecutive base hits.
Sewell hitting in the 9-hole, 1-1. Change-up floats up and out of the zone. Sewell with a little bit of pop in the 9-hole, 333 on the year, a 405 on-base percentage, 2 home runs as well. Able to turn that lineup over.
We're starting to see that a lot more. Put productive hitters near the bottom of the lineup to help turn it over.
Swings through the rise ball, and now 2-2 in the count.
Yeah, gone are the days. Granted, you're playing in a state championship game, so you don't really have anybody on your roster that you're going to bury. But gone are those days where you just bury your worst hitter in that 9 spot because you do want to have someone on base when you turn the lineup over.
The 2-2. Check swing foul. To add on to the thought about the 9-hole hitter, it's even evolving now away from the speedster that mimics the style of your leadoff hitter as well, to put a little bit more power in that 9 spot. Two-two. Out to right field, just over the head of Lane. That's going to drop for a 2-out single.
It's a really good piece of hitting there by Sewell to kind of muscle that one in. Might have got jammed a little bit, but able to force it out there over the second baseman Lane's head, and again turn that lineup over and give the top of the order, who did so much damage in the first, a chance to push another one across.
Snaps a streak of 5 batters in a row set down by Moore and rolls it up to the top of the lineup in Buford, who led off with a single and scored in the first. Takes the first pitch strike as Sewell's off and running. She is in there with a stolen base.
Yeah, kind of a delayed steal there by Sewell. Try to catch Bradley napping just a touch. Maybe a double pump throw out to second base allowed her just enough time to slide in and get into scoring position.
Strong throw from Kellner, and just under the tag is Sewell. Head first dive and sets Buford up with an RBI opportunity. Out to left field again, on the rope. That one's going to get to the fence. Sewell will score. Buford chugging for third, and she is in there with an RBI triple.
The top of the lineup just doing work for Taylor. It seemed like Moore had really settled down, struck out 4 in a row, but a little flare, a stolen base, and all of a sudden an RBI triple, and Taylor's top of the lineup continuing to do damage.
Off the outer part of the plate. An absolute rocket into left field. Is it more Taylor's hitting, or is it Moore's pitching?
I mean, Taylor's putting the bat on the ball, which is key, but I do think Moore is catching too much of the plate and leaving good pitches out there to hit.
I'll check and see whether or not Lindsay went. She says, the third base umpire rather says no. So 1-0 to Madison Lindsay, who doubled and scored back in the first. comes back with a strike across the plate. Another look at the swing. Bobby, what do you think?
So she checked it up. The wrist didn't break.
I would agree. Not that our opinion really means anything.
It's called teamwork here in the booth.
There you go. The 1-1. Fouled back into the screen. A big opportunity for Ainsley Moore to try and get herself out of the bottom of the second here as Taylor threatening to really pad their lead, already up 4-1 with a runner on third.
And here, more importantly than anything else for Bradley, make them put it in play. You've already given up 2 runs because of a wild pitch. You cannot give up a third here just in the second inning.
1-2. Check foul. And Taylor looks really comfortable inside the box tonight.
And that's an advantage of facing someone for a 5th time. I mean, Buford with the 135 innings pitched, she's done the heavy lifting for this team all season long, likely pitched every inning the first 4 contests.
1-2. That's back up the middle. That's going to get down. Buford will score. And 3 2-out hits in a row. Same recipe for Taylor. They continue to produce the plate. It's now a 5-1 Tigers lead.
Yeah, you're talking the top of the lineup doing exactly why they are in the top lineup and what they're supposed to do. 1 through 3 in this contest. Dorian 5 for 5 now with 3 RBIs. That's getting the job done at the top of the order.
When you're putting your lineup together, you want your players that produce to come up most. This is why, to your point, those 3 are there. Consistent production at the top of the Taylor lineup. That one swung on and missed on a drop ball as Reese Fowler, who tripled and scored on a wild pitch. Five runs in for Taylor already in the bottom of the second. 6 hits. Called strike on the outside part of the plate. Lindsay into second with a stolen base.
Again, just putting yourself into scoring position. Take advantage of that throw being off the mark just a little bit. And now the catcher with the stolen base and puts herself in scoring position. So anything to the outfield, likely going to give themselves another run.
Huge jump from Lindsay. She was well safe. And Taylor continuing to be aggressive on the base paths. 0-2. Flared out to shallow center field, but on Isweem, she makes the catch. Taylor gets 2 more to extend their lead 5-1. We head to the third. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
I know your grandfather will never consent to me.
Is it not perfectly dreadful, Harriet, to learn that our niece's honor is now certainly lost? Fearfully romantic, though.
Elizabeth? She's missing and I'm worried sick.
Mom.
You don't believe me?
You've got to stop all this nonsense. The world-famous thief.
Father Brown's friend and nemesis is in trouble.
Flambeau is now a killer.
For once I'm innocent.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports. For those in the community looking for meal options after the game, Raising Cane's is known for their hand-battered chicken fingers and special sauce. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love. Now, Taylor has a lot to love about this game in the top of the third, leading 5-1 over the Bradley Lady Bears. Ayla Buford is back out to start the third inning, and it's been pretty easy cruising for Buford, minus the solo home run by Kellner in the first.
Yeah, she's really settled in. You know, home run, double on back-to-back at bats. but unlike what Bradley was able to do on the circle, she was able to settle in, go 1, 2, 3 in that second inning, and now she's pitching with a 4-run lead. You really start to see her settle down and really pound that strike zone and make Bradley put back-to-back hits and really try to put something together. And of course, if Kellner comes up, you change your game plan, because obviously you change everything for the best player. Just make everybody else on that roster beat you.
9-1-2 due up for Bradley. Flared out of play from Allie Lane.
I think we're going to see a lot of that, Dory. I think we're in a lot of first pitch swinging, because the game plan has to be just pound the strike zone. Get ahead, make your defense work for you.
With a 4-run lead, you have a little bit more cushion to be able to go after hitters. 0-1. Changeup dropped in there for strike 2.
That's tough. I mean, if you're not sitting changeup, that's got to be one of the most difficult things to do when you're thinking, okay, this one's coming 55, this one's coming 61, and all of a sudden they drop that, what, 40, 45 mile an hour on you? It's got to be really tough to slow the bat down.
The 0-2. Line backed up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit.
And that time, that may be just the case of going back to it too quickly. You know, maybe don't go change up. You go fastball there, maybe she's way behind it. Almost seemed like she was sitting change up and able to just kind of flip that one out in the center field.
The old philosophy of you don't throw off speed to the bottom of the lineup. That turns the lineup over for Emily Lyons, who struck out to lead off the first. And to go back to your conversation about pounding the strike zone, right now Buford, 75% of her pitches have been for strikes. Yeah. Bunt put in play towards the right side, over to first. And just in time to retire Lyons as Lane moves to first on the sacrifice.
You know, to kind of look at those numbers, I mean, you can kind of look at that a couple different ways. Her command's been really good, but Bradley's been really aggressive too. They're up there swinging at the first pitch, trying to put the ball in play. The strikeout number, she's got 3 strikeouts, but Bradley's put it in play, and their defense will be able to work behind her.
Listen, I just wanted to prove I could do math too.
Hey, I'm with you.
Runner in scoring position for the Bradley Lady Bears. First runner in scoring position since Kellner touched them all in the first. First pitch swinging is Maddie McDonald, who also struck out back in the first inning. As we talk about aggressive philosophies, can you swing yourself out of innings, though, being so aggressive at the plate?
Yeah, you really can, because especially if you have a pitcher who's trying to take advantage of that aggressiveness and making you chase pitches consistently out of the zone.
Line down to right field. And is going to get out of play. A good-looking swing, though, from McDonald.
It's always that happy medium you're looking for as a team, to be aggressive but be controlled. It's they always like to call it controlled chaos, maybe, if you will. Just enough out of control that you're wild and dangerous, but not, you know, completely ineffective.
Buford ahead in the count, 0-2. Swung on and missed as McDonald retired via the strikeout for the second time today.
Yeah, struck out twice all season long, then struck out twice here today, and that time a great job by Buford to really make her chase out of the zone. That one was well off the plate. You have to protect with 2 strikes and got her to chase.
Jackie Kellner stepping into the plate. First pitch changeup. Able to hold.
That's just almost not fair.
She had to know it was coming, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't give her any fastball. I'd go change up 4 times and all 4 well out of the zone. Especially with first base open, there is really no point in letting Kellner something to hit.
Get something up in the zone off the end of the handle. Over to first in time as Kellner is retired.
Tells you what I know, right, Dorian?
Buford works around a leadoff single. It's still 5-1 Taylor as we go to the bottom of the third. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
People would come from miles around to come to 9th Street just to see what it was like.
I'm saying this was the mecca of entertainment in the South.
I want to blow the roof off of this sucker.
We thought we was on top of the world.
Download the PBS video app or watch online.
Can you see her greatness? When you attend her games, when you cheer her on, or when you participate in any way, you support your community and make it better, and you will see her greatness. Join us as we pledge to increase the visibility of women's sports in our communities. It makes a difference when we all are involved. At Everett Buick GMC, we proudly support our local female athletes and encourage you to do the same. See her greatness.
Lyric Stapleton is our Arkansas PBS Sports player of the game, signed with ASU Newport. A pitcher senior with a 3.4 GPA headed to Calico Rock, or from Calico Rock rather. Congratulations to Lyric. 4-5-6 due up for Taylor in the bottom of the third inning. Lady Tigers looking to add to their 5-1 lead. First pitch swinging is Maggie McHenry. McHenry grounded out to second in her last at bat.
See if this is where Moore can settle back in. The top half of the order, the top third of the order, have really been her Achilles heel. This is where she needs to settle in. 4 runs is not impossible to come back from. Obviously, Moore is not either, but you don't want to watch that lead expand ever more for Taylor because this is too good to dig yourself that big of a hole.
McHenry watches that ball on the inner part of the plate and quickly behind in the count 0-2. Lined out to right field. That gets down. It's going to get all the way to the fence. McHenry turning for second base. She wants 3. She's going for third. Here comes the throw. Not in time. The throw gets away. But McHenry will stay at third with a leadoff triple.
Really nice piece of hitting there to take that one the opposite way. And, you know, a little late getting to the softball at the fence, and that allowed the extra 60 feet to be picked up for McHenry. And just like that, like we've seen in the first, second, now the third inning, Taylor coming to the plates with runners in scoring position.
Taylor has had their leadoff runner on in both the first and the third inning. Did all their damage with 2 outs in the bottom of the second, now threatening to make it a 6-1 lead as a snap throw back down to third from Kellner keeps McHenry honest. Michaela Downs standing in. She was the first strikeout victim of the night, the first of 4 that Moore retired via the strikeout. That ball squirts away. Here comes McHenry. She's going to be in. Taylor continuing to force the issue on the base paths.
Yep. The leadoff triple set that up, but just trying to be too fine with your pitches, and that one gets away. And the third time in the first 3 innings of this contest, Taylor able to pick up a cheap run as the pitcher and catcher not on the same page.
Skipped off the foot of Kellner. McHenry in easily as that ball got far enough away that there was no throw to the plate. 1-2 is the count to Michaela Downs inside the box. How does it change your philosophy as a pitcher, going from a runner on third to having no one on and now working just against the hitter?
It probably relaxes you a little bit because you don't have to worry about, a base hit allowing a run to score. But maybe that's putting too much pressure on yourself because she's trying to be too fine, talking about Ainsley Moore, trying to find the strike zone, and that's when you kind of overextend, you overpitch. And now we've seen 3 runs score because of the wild pitch. Maybe not take such a drastic, differently approach when you've got runners on base in scoring position.
1-2 skips in the turf, make it 2-2.
Because you can really psych yourself out of throwing a strike. And that when you miss the zone by that much and your catcher can't get in front or doesn't have enough time to get out of her stance to elevate and go get a ball way high out of the zone, put yourself in a really bad spot.
Chopped back up the middle. Moore knocks it down over to first in time. Retires Downs for the first out of the inning.
Because as a coach, and I think every softball coach will tell you, Like, you can live if a team is beating you by putting the ball in play and just hitting the ball in the outfield, finding the gaps. But when you're giving up runs with walks and hit batters and wild pitches and things like that, that's when you really probably pull your hair out, and it keeps you up at night because you don't feel like that you made them earn it against you.
First pitch swinging from Madison McClellan. Bobby, I've got to ask you, I know you played baseball, you've been around sports a long time. Would you rather lose a close game, or would you rather lose in a blowout?
I would say a close game because you've got a chance. I mean, you're going to sit there and nitpick every pitch and every at-bat, but just give yourself a chance. That's really, as an athlete and a competitor, all you want to do.
Close play at third, and McClellan is safe, able to leg out the infield single on a slow chopper over to McDonald. And Bobby, you and I are very different. I would rather lose in a blowout because then I know there was nothing I could do.
Yeah, but I never want that feeling of thinking someone is so much better than I am, there's nothing I could have done.
It's a fair point. Always one of my favorite questions to ask because you get so many different answers. A one-on-one away for Taylor here in the bottom of the third inning after McClellan with the infield single. First pitch swinging. Ashling Clark up and out of the zone.
Because it's a really big blow to your ego to sit there and think, you know what, they were better than I was. And as a competitor and a former college athlete, I don't ever want to think that or say that.
Maybe I just didn't lose enough big games that I never felt that way. Moore ahead in the count 0-2. Clark struck out looking to lead off the second. The 0-2. Put in play softly over to the right side. Go for the lead runner at second. She is out. Not in time to turn the double, but a nice decision there from Lane to cut down the leadoff runner at second.
Nice job to get the lead runner. She said they couldn't turn the double play quick enough, but that's a big second out. And now you're just a strikeout away or one pitch away from getting out of this frame and hopefully get your offense going in the fourth.
You don't see a ton of traditional double plays turned in the sport of softball due to the distance in the bases, only 60 feet versus 90.
It really has to be a really, really hard hit ground ball that's leading the defender to the bag, really more times than not.
The 0-1.
Your traditional double play. Of course, you're going to get your line out double plays and things like that, but as far as turning with a relay throw, it's almost impossible.
Although we are starting to see them creep into the college game a little bit more. I think that goes back to the power of the batters inside the box. The 1-1. Cut on and missed. Taylor off and running again. The third stolen base of the game so far for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, gone are the days of, draw a walk, bunt them to second, bunt them to third, and hope for a base hit with 2 outs.
Bradley had a bit of an argument there as it looked like Clark's hand came off the bag for just a second, but they do say she is safe. And so Taylor, runner on second, 2 outs, 1-2 to Aniston Nolte. Takes called strike 3 on the outside corner. So Moore able to work her way out of the jam, but Taylor gets one more. It's 6-1 Tigers as we go to the fourth. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charities, education, and exceptional service. Because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Not a bad investment. That's like 6,900% increase.
Now that's money well spent.
Excellent.
Not a bad investment.
Your investment in this PBS station brings Antiques Roadshow into your home each week.
That's a good investment.
Call, text, or go online to give now.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Papa's got a brand new bag, I'll tell you what.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
Hotel accommodations and sponsorship for the 2023 Arkansas High School State Baseball and Softball Championship broadcast provided by Hilton Garden Inn at 805 Amity Road in Conway and the Home to Suites at 820 Bill Dean Driveway in Conway. Top of the fourth inning, Bradley finding themselves trailing Taylor 6-1. Bobby, what do the Lady Bears need to do to start clawing away at this 5-run lead?
Yeah, right now it's just base runners. There's no such thing as the 5-run home run, even though we're talking about all the power in today's game. So you have to chip away. Realistically, more times than not, you're not going to go put up a 5 spot. So get some runners on base, try to work the pitch count, because honestly, Ayla Buford has kind of settled into a nice little rhythm here, and Bradley hasn't had much of a fight in the last couple innings.
Moore leading things off with a sharp single out to left field. That certainly helped. As Moore turning for second, that ball got all the way to the fence.
Yeah. Clark couldn't get all the way over in front of that one, gets all the way to the fence, and that's a great start there. If you're Bradley, you want to get back into this contest, and Moore with the rope down the left field line has got themselves a runner in scoring position and a chance to chip into this lead.
Third extra base hit for Taylor. So of their 4 hits, 3 have gone for extra bases. That's a good sign as they try to get back into this game. And Bobby, to your point, making Buford work. She'd thrown that was her 40th pitch of the game, and we're in the 4th inning. First pitch strike on the inside corner to Chelsea Whitford.
It's Nunn who comes in as the courtesy runner for the pitcher. This is the first of the twins to step up, Chelsea Whitfield. Of course, Kelsey coming up next. I think this is an opportunity they can't squander. Bradley has to take advantage of this leadoff double.
The 0-1. Fouled back into the screen.
Bradley's put the ball in play. 4 hits to the first 4 innings. More times than not, that's going to be a good recipe. They just haven't been able to take advantage. They've left 2 of them on base. Obviously, Taylor's brought their bats to play.
The 0-2 stays low. Nunn is the courtesy runner, currently playing in the field at third base, so she is able to be subbed in and out for Ainsley Moore. One of those lovely softball rules. The 1-2. That's lined back up the middle. Moore going to be waved around. She will score as Chelsea Whitford comes through with a big RBI single.
That's a big, big hit there for the freshman first baseman. And the courtesy runner comes around to score, and that's how rallies are started. You lead something off with a double, sharp grounder back up the middle, and just like that, Bradley has got a little rally brewing here in the 4th.
And thank you for that correction. That was Nunn, the courtesy runner that came around to score. Whitford with the single. Nobody out in the inning. Bradley trying to chip away at this Taylor lead. So now twin sister Kelsey stepping into the box. Snap throw back down to first. Chelsea back in time. Back-to-back hits given up by Buford for the 2nd time in this game. The last time was back in the 1st inning. It was a home run and a double before Whitford popped out. So now a double and a single to lead off the 1st. Flared down the right field line. Good chase over there by McHenry. She'll run out of room.
Kelsey hitting .310 on the season. 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. She's got some power. Again, just a freshman. The heart of this lineup for Bradley.
Buford really starting to mix in that off-speed more. A change-up fouled back. Now Buford ahead in the count 1-2, trying to find the first out of this inning is Taylor. Looking for their 6th consecutive state championship. The Tigers will be the first program to do that since Foreman. On the right side, over to second, going for the leadoff runner. They do get Whitford in time, so a fielder's choice for sister Kelsey, but Taylor able to retire Chelsea at second base.
Nice job to get the lead runner, as you mentioned. That's also a key first out to kind of slow the bleeding here a little bit, if you will, for Taylor. Obviously still a 4-run lead.
Bit of a dangerous play from McClellan, though. That ball was not hit very hard, so really had to deliver a good throw over to second base. Ball misses inside to Aiden Alexander. Alexander struck out back in the second inning. .282 coming into tonight's game. A 1-0 fouled back, evens the count at 1-1. Bobby, we talked about momentum, and clearly Taylor's still in control of this game at 6-2, but how does it affect Bradley's momentum to be able to scratch out another run?
It'd be big. I mean, because we're about halfway home here. Is that wild pitch is going to allow Whitfield to get up to second base? Just you know how it is, Dorian, in sports. You know, just one run doesn't seem like a lot, but 4 seems like a huge number, and 3's one swing of the bat. And it kind of, you have that mindset, okay, we can start to chip away. We score 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and all of a sudden we come up in the 7th inning, we got a chance to win this thing.
Wild pitches certainly help Bradley's cause here as Whitford now moves into scoring position. The 2-1. Misses low. That is the second pitch in that same part of the strike zone. The Buford has not gotten the call here in this at bat, and now it's 3-1 to Aiden Alexander. Taken for a called strike.
It looks like she was taken all the way there. That's about as good as pitch as you're going to get hit in this situation. Now with the full count. Try to sit dead red, middle third, and see if you can turn on one.
1 out, 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. The changeup again for Buford. That is a dirty, dirty changeup.
Yeah, talk about having confidence in the changeup. And most high school pitchers are not going to have confidence to throw a 3-2 changeup. At that time, likely would have been a called third strike. If she doesn't swing the bat, it's pretty close to it either way. But got her way out in front, and Alexander set down swinging.
Big second out by Ayla Buford. Another wild pitch, though. Whitford going for third. She is safe, just beats the throw. So a pair of wild pitches have allowed Kelsey Whitford to advance to third after grounding into the fielder's choice as Bradley trying to have this Taylor lead here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, but can Bradley come up with that big 2-out hit to take advantage of it?
You and I know how much coaches love to talk about 2-out hitting. 1-0 to Tara Weems. Stays low, 2-0. And if you're going to be aggressive at the plate, a 2-0 is a great count to look for something good to hit.
Yeah, because you know they're not wanting to walk you. And, of course, this is 8-9 in the lineup. But they don't want to put any more extra bodies on the base pass, so swing away.
That ball kicks away. Whitford stays put at third. Good decision as Lindsay was quickly out to smother.
It's a 3-0 to Tara Weems, the center fielder, likely taken all the way and make her throw a couple strikes.
You would have to think so here in this situation. 3-0 and a 4-run game where Bradley desperately in need of base runners. And it is ball 4 on the inside corner.
Yeah, missed one well off the inside corner, and so Weems gets the free pass.
First walk of the day issued by Ayla Buford. That brings up Allie Lane, who singled back in the 3rd. Trying to really work that, what would be an inside pitch to the lefties. First pitch swinging back up the middle, it's snagged. Great defensive play by McClellan to end the inning. Bradley gets 1. Taylor still up by 4. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
The more time I spend in nature, I realize how fragile everything is.
Give nature a chance and it'll come right back. That's what we're asking for, is to give the right whale a chance.
The mystery ship thought Titanic would not sink. How could any ship leave a ship, especially of Titanic size, in distress?
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Can you see her greatness? When you attend her games, when you cheer her on, or when you participate in any way, you support your community and make it better, and you will see her greatness. Join us as we pledge to increase the visibility of women's sports in our communities. It makes a difference when we all are involved. At Everett Buick GMC, we proudly support our local female athletes and encourage you to do the same. See her greatness.
We never gonna stop.
Come along July 5th for a new season of Rise and Shine. Each weekday, a group of all-star Arkansas teachers will share mini lessons right on your TV to help kids in kindergarten through 5th grade continue learning between school years. Out at Ferris Field, I'm Dorian Kraft alongside Bobby Swafford. The Taylor Tigers have plated 6 runs through the first 4 innings. First pitch swinging off of the bat of Lily Sewell. 9-1-2 due up for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 4th inning as Taylor looks to not just take the season series against their rival Bradley, but also capture their 6th consecutive state title.
The approach hasn't changed. I know it's just the 4th inning, but Taylor is going to attack the first pitch. They know that Moore is consistently around the strike zone, and so they are coming up hacking. And Sewell showed that off with the single last time up. She came around to score, and that ever-dangerous top of the lineup and looming.
Coming at you. I'm still a flincher after all these years.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably, more likely, if I had a ball coming at me that hard.
Swung on and missed for strike 3. 6th strikeout of the night for Moore.
And we were having a conversation during the break that Moore looks like a different pitcher when there's no one on base. There's obviously added pressure when there's a runner on base, but when there is the paths are clear, she is smooth, she is controlled, and she has got some velocity.
Really nice late breaking movement on that rise ball to strike out Sewell, but that does turn over the lineup for Ayla Buford, who is 2 for 2, a single, a triple, 2 runs scored here in this championship game. The 0-1, right back up the middle. That's off the shin. Moore over to first in time. I have to check her to make sure she is okay because that ball came off hard.
You could hear that one. A really nice job to bounce back, not only from the shock of getting hit in the shin with the softball, but to bounce back and make a really nice throw to first to get Buford in time to get the second out of the inning.
Moore appears to be okay.
It's one of those that's fine right now, and in about 2 hours it's really, really going to hurt and probably swell up pretty nicely.
A hot shot off the bat of Ayla Buford, able to be retired. So 2 away here for Taylor in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch strike to Madison Lindsay, who has also been on twice today. Doubled and scored in the first, singled and was stranded in the second. High and out. Ainsley Moore settling in nicely, has given up the 8 hits, has struck out 6 though, so it's either been hit or strikeout pretty much. That one sent out down the left field line. It's going to get foul.
It has been feast or famine, both for her but also for the Taylor offense. They're either finding a gap or they're getting set down on strikes. There really has been no in between.
Moore has yet to record a 1-2-3 inning. Ahead in the count 1-2 to Lindsay here. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Taylor goes down in order for the first time tonight as Bradley trying to battle back here in this 1A state championship game. Lady Bears trail by 4. We go to the 5th. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
What exactly did they get wrong?
That Arkansas values our teachers.
The House and Senate thought was very disingenuous.
Arkansas Week is celebrating 40 years of public affairs programming. From news analysis to election and legislative coverage, see why Arkansas Week has become a staple for thousands of viewers every week. Tune in Fridays and Sundays and stay up to date the rest of the week by signing up for our newsletter at myarpbs.org/signup.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
1, 2, 3, turn up! Whoa. It's going up in here! Let's go!
The Taylor Tigers on their quest for a 6th consecutive 1A state championship. Jackie Kellner trying to spoil the party, lead-off home run in the first inning to put Bradley on the board first, but after a lead-off single and a double, Taylor gets on the board via a wild pitch. They would get 3 in the inning. In the second, it's Buford at the dish again. RBI triple. She would come around to score on the single off the bat of Madison Lindsay. It was 5-1 after 2 for Taylor. In the third, more Tigers. That one skips away as Maggie McHenry comes in to score on the wild pitch. But the Lady Bears battling back in the fourth. The RBI single off the bat of Chelsea Whitford plates Ainsley Moore. And it is 6-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. Bradley getting short on outs, trying to cut into this Taylor lead. Tapped foul. Lyons, McDonald, and Kellner due up for Bradley in the top of the 5th inning.
I think this is big for Bradley to push 1 or 2 across here. You've got the top of the order, 1, 2, 3 coming up. You're starting to run out of outs. You only have 9 outs left in your season. I think you need to start to chip away at this Taylor advantage right here.
Strike 2 called on the outside part of the plate. And Bobby, you mentioned in between innings that this game is a couple of inches away from being a lot more interesting because McClellan's snow cone catch to end the 4th, that was only about 2 inches away from being right up the middle.
That's the name of the game. Sometimes 6 inches one way or the other is the difference between an RBI single and all of a sudden you got yourself a huge rally or a momentum swinging catch that ends the frame like we got there for Taylor.
Third time through the lineup for Bradley. That one put in play hard right at the shortstop. Over to first in time as Nolte makes the throw to retire Lyons.
I know if you're Bradley, you'd like to see some base runners on for Kellner coming up and 2 batters. But that time a nice hit ground ball that right at the shortstop and an easy throw there for Nolte, the freshman. Makes a good play, retires the first batter of the inning.
Bobby, third time through the lineup for Bradley. What adjustments did the Lady Bears need to make going up against Buford?
I think they just need to continue to be aggressive. And Buford's throwing strikes. Obviously, that changeup has given them some problems. But sit fastball, attack early in the account, but also try not to do too much. Just put the ball in play, try to find a gap in that infield, and just go station to station.
Try not to do too much is so much easier to say than it is to do. Over to the right side, right to second base, over to first. A pair of ground outs, and they're quickly 2 away in the inning.
Yeah, you can't argue with putting the ball in play, but that was really good placement there by Buford. Misses the barrel, not great contact, and a slow roller out to second. And this is the only time you want to face Kellner when there's nobody on base and 2 outs.
Kellner homered in the first, grounded out to end the 3rd. And will come to bat here with nobody on and 2 away. First pitch swinging, sent out to center field. It's tailing, it's gonna get down. Downs is there for the backup, so Kellner in with a 2-out single. A great effort out in center field from Fowler.
Yeah, you'll take that all day. First pitch swing in there. Nice job by Kellner to loft one to the outfield. Just found just a little bit of real estate to get the base hit. But again, if you're Taylor, you'll take that. You know, the best player obviously on the opposing team with a batting average of almost 600, but up with 2 outs and nobody on base, that doesn't hurt you.
Goes back to the fraction of an inch because Fowler just about 2 inches away from coming up with that catch. And now Moore stepping in. Takes the first pitch changeup on the outside corner. Chance for Moore to help her own cause. She doubled and scored in the 4th inning.
17 doubles now in the season for Ainsley Moore.
Moore has doubled in both of her at-bats, doubled in the 1st, doubled in the 4th. She would love to have another double here. That one on the turf. Kellner's going to stay put, quickly retreats. This is the portion of the Bradley lineup that has had some success. Kellner, Moore, Whitford. You have Allie Lane in the bottom of the lineup with the single as well. So even with 2 outs, Bradley still has the opportunity to chip away. 1-1. Changeup fooled Moore. She was way out in front.
Yeah, she's kind of even laughing about that one herself. She was so far out in front. And that changeup has just been so deadly for Buford and Taylor. I mean, you can still see Moore still laughing about it because you see it coming, you know it's coming, and you still just can't stop yourself from swinging at it.
When it's in the strike zone, it is devastating. Now the 1-2. Outside corner left alone. Snap throw. They get Kellner off the base. She's caught in a rundown. She will be out as Nolte able to apply the tag. 2-3-6 to end the inning. Taylor down without a run. Or Bradley rather down without a run. Taylor still up by 4. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charities, education, and exceptional service, because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
A special thank you to the University of Central Arkansas for their help setting up and hosting the event and broadcast. Central Arkansas Athletics, home to 19 NCAA Division I sports and over 450 student athletes who succeed on both the fields and courts, as well as in the classroom. Visit ucasports.com to learn more. Maybe look at the Bears draw in Tuscaloosa as well while you're there. Central Arkansas going to get postseason play started tomorrow, going up against Middle Tennessee State as Taylor coming to plate in the bottom of the 5th inning, trying to extend their 6-2 lead. First pitch swinging, hammered out to center field. It's going to fall as Reese Fowler reaches for the 2nd time today.
It's a really good defensive alignment there from Bradley. Tara Weems was shading over that direction, was in position to make the play, but that one just ticked off her glove and couldn't make the play. And so the leadoff batter on the bases again for Taylor.
Fowler reaches on the error. So 3 out of 5 innings, Taylor has gotten their leadoff runner on. 2 of the previous times they have scored. Maggie McHenry, 1 for 2. Takes the first pitch ball. Why is that leadoff runner so important?
Well, I mean, it just gives you more opportunities to move them around first. And also it gives you confidence, and it immediately puts pressure on a defense and pressure on a pitcher to be a little more fine. You know, they don't have as much room for error, and sometimes they press a little too much, and that's when a big inning can happen.
Cut on and missed, 1-1. Bobby, I know you and I are a little bit more old school. Do you like the move to go more power in a sacrifice situation, or are you old school?
I like to swing the bat. I like to go out there and earn it yourself. And I understand of course, it all depends on who's up in the lineup and the kind of team you have and what your makeup is. But if you're asking me and everything's equal, go out there and swing the bat and earn yourself a way around the bases.
You and I would have been terrible teammates. 1-2 to Maggie McHenry. Good hold as the ball up in the zone, evens the count at 2-2.
Well, then again, you're a former college softball player. I'm a former college offensive lineman, so there's a big difference there.
Yeah. Lord knows I was not getting out on a football field at any time. 2-2. Fouled away. Just into the stands here at Ferris Field. A good crowd here tonight. Stands are full, the berm filling in pretty nicely. You gotta love seeing all the fans out in support.
For sure. I mean, this is, to me, the best weekend. This weekend and the weekend that we had for basketball championships, when you've got the 12 games in 3 days. I mean, it's no better because you see the communities support their local athletes, because more times than not, the high school is the most important thing in their town. And that's the way it should be. You know, as a kid who grew up in a small town, graduated with 85, I mean, the biggest thing to do on Tuesday and Friday night was go out and watch the football team or the baseball team or the basketball team. And that's what you do in small town America. That's why that's why I probably gravitated to high school sports more than anything else.
3-2. Rope down to third. Over to second, not in time as both runners will reach. So Taylor with the first 2 runners on. My high school was 10 times the size of your high school. I'm surprised, though. You don't say football just doesn't have enough in the weekend and it's too spread out for you?
Boy, it's over 2 weekends, yeah. And plus, I mean, everything's so spread out. You know, you play at War Memorial Stadium, you don't have that quaint feel, if you will, like of a packed-out arena. I mean, granted, there's 25,000, 30,000 people at a championship game, but it still doesn't just feel full because the place is so large.
First pitch swinging, Michaela Downs. Downs struck out in the first, grounded out to the pitcher back in the third.
And there's just something about, you know, the horn sounds in basketball or the final out in baseball, and all of a sudden 2 new teams are coming out there. Just one right after the other, and not taking a 3-hour break like it does in football.
Infield squibber is going to get down as both Moore and McDonald converge. Neither one could come up, and so now Taylor with the bases loaded. And this feels like a dangerous moment for Bradley.
Yeah, it's a line drive in the box score, but that's just a little nubber that Moore couldn't get over to make a play to, and by the time she was able to corral it, the runners had already advanced. And now the bases loaded for McClellan and nobody out.
Now, to be fair, those squibbers sometimes the most difficult balls on the infield to handle because they've got the weird spin, they fall in weird places. First pitch up and in. McClellan just able to get out of the way.
To finish what we're talking about, the excitement really ramps up tomorrow. So we got baseball and softball, add a little soccer into it.
Cut on and miss that ball at the bottom of the zone. 1-1 the count.
It'll be championships handed out to everybody.
Are we Oprah?
20 of them this weekend are getting handed out. Got to earn them, though.
Taylor trying to be one of those 20. Upstairs, 2-1 the count. McClellan struck out looking to end the first, grounded out, or rather singled, and was forced out back in the third, so 1 for 2 today. Trying to come up with her first RBI of the state final. Bases loaded, bottom 5, no one out. Cut on and missed. 2 really nice drop balls for Moore.
Yeah, it was a really good pitch there. You're behind in the count, but you still have the confidence to throw it. And she obliges and chases and evens up the count at 2-2.
This is the best Moore has looked with runners on tonight. The 2-2 fouled away. Way to hang in there from McClellan.
It's a really good bat, or at bat, excuse me, for Madison. She struck out and has a single. A base hit here really could blow this one open and maybe close the door on Bradley.
Bradley pulling the infield in, 2-2, right back up the middle. Moore comes home. down to first, not in time as McClellan is safe, but Bradley able to get the leadoff runner at home.
Yeah, really nice job by Moore to come home for the easy out, the force out, the lead runner. And just reset and do it all over with one out this time.
One away for Taylor on the ground out, back to Moore in off the handle, but that brings up Ashlyn Clark. Bases still loaded for Taylor.
The exchange from glove to hand is not clean enough there for Kellner to give them a realistic chance of turning two.
Bunt in play. Moore can't come up with it as Taylor able to squeeze one home.
I like the idea of the squeeze play there, put some pressure on the defense, and as you mentioned, Moore not able to get down enough, and it looked like she might have been trying to pick that up with the glove hand and make the tag herself, but didn't make the play, and Taylor scratches another one across.
We've seen a couple of nice squeezes so far in this tournament. The purpose of the squeeze to cause a little chaos, and you see Courtney McHenry in her second season. She is amped up down at third base as her team is now up 5 in the bottom of the 5th and trying to extend their lead. Ball in play down the right side. It gets through the 3-4 hole. 1 run is in. 2 runs come in.
That's how important a well-placed bunt can be in this game. Bases loaded, a perfectly placed squeeze play, if you will. But that time, as the defense is rotating, you've got a hole right between the pitcher and first base. That one gets by, and all of a sudden 2 runs come around to score. And Taylor is inching ever closer to another state title.
Nolte pushes it through the right side. Whitfield can't make the play, or Whitford rather, cannot make the play. And there is nobody stopping that ball as it gets all the way out into shallow right field. 2 runs come in, and now Taylor on the verge of their 6th consecutive state championship, up 9-2 here in the bottom of the 5th.
That's just wild to think about. I mean, the success of 6 senior classes in a row of ending is, or potentially, granted this one's not over, potentially ending your season with a victory. That's almost unheard of. I know Foreman has done it, so it turned the trick, but that's absolutely wild to think about. Foreman and now Taylor, almost a better part of a decade, obviously, 6 years of dominance.
A bona fide dynasty for the Taylor Tigers, trying to cement their spot. Bunt offered. The runner does advance to second as Nolte stands on second. Clark is on third. Taylor up by 7. Should Taylor score here, the run rule would be in effect. Bradley trying to stave that off. Fouled back as Sewell behind in the count 0-2. The 0-2. Good job by Kellner to glove that pitch. Sewell batting .333 coming into this game. Singled and scored in the 2nd. Struck out in the 4th. With a chance to end the state championship here. The 1-2. Put in foul play as Sewell is battling inside the box.
Nice job by Stool just to stay alive. His battle is a really good pitch. Inside on the hands, but able to pull those hands in tight to the body just enough to stay alive for another pitch.
2 on, 1 away. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Moore goes upstairs. 7th strikeout of the day.
I like that she changed the eye level there and really climbed the ladder to get Sewell to go down swinging. She's not out of the woods just yet. Top of the order has been so dangerous, and the pitcher Buford got a chance to finish things off her way.
First pitch swinging from Buford right back up the middle. Moore glove it, gets the out as Bradley lives to fight another inning. Taylor gets 3 more. Tigers up by 7. We go to the 6th. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Support your PBS station and you can get Passport, giving you full seasons, early releases, special collections, and more.
Download the PBS Video app or watch online.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
A special thank you to the Conway Chamber of Commerce for helping us organize and set up the event and broadcast. The Conway Chamber of Commerce serving the Conway area business community since 1891. For more information, visit conwaychamber.org. Top of the 6th inning, Bradley trailing Taylor 9-2. Lady Bears down to their final 6 outs in the season with work to do at the plate. Ainsley Moore will lead things off after Jackie Kellner was picked off to end the 5th inning. Moore 2 for 2, a pair of doubles. So for Bradley, the person that you won up at the plate.
No doubt about it. You kind of disappointed that you ran yourself out of potential with her at the plate with someone on base in the last frame, but you bring her up here. Maybe she can start things off, put herself in scoring position for a 3rd time today. And again, just start to chisel yourself away. There's no such thing as a 7-run homer as much as you wish there was. You got to start to chip away, and take advantage of all 6 outs that you have remaining.
Ainsley Moore, Chelsea Whitford, and Kelsey Whitford due up 4-5-6. Aiden Alexander waiting should anybody reach. Moore stepping out. That one skied to center field, but it will be playable as Fowler is under it for out number 1.
Saw that one up around her eyes and just couldn't lay off of it. And tomahawked and skied it out to center field. It's a big first out there for Taylor.
Reminds me of a league of their own. I like the high ones.
They're tough to lay off of. I mean, those ones at eye level, they're hard to say no to.
They're easy to elevate, but
near impossible to stay on top of. They teach you that from about the time you're 5 years old, but sometimes you just can't say no.
It's been an efficient night for Ayla Buford. The first pitch swinging to Chelsea Whitford. 65 pitches, 46 of them have been for strikes. Scattered 6 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 5. Has given up 3 extra base hits rather. The 2 doubles to Moore, the home run to Kellner back in the first. As Whitfield lays off the ball up in the zone.
She's just stayed aggressive, attacking the zone early in counts, but also Bradley has stayed aggressive at swinging it early in the count. And so that's obviously why the pitch count's not very high and has led to some pretty quick innings.
Another changeup, late call on the strike. The count now 1-2 to the freshman. Whitfield 1 for 2 with a double, or with an RBI. And that one chopped. It's going to be right back to Buford. Over to first in time, 2 away for the Lady Bears.
No point in changing the strategy now. If you're Buford, just pound the strike zone. Continue to make Bradley try to put it in play, and she's just done a really nice job of missing barrels. And that's the name of the game. You know, make your opponent put it in play, and just nip on the corners. Miss the thick part of the bat just enough to give your defense a chance, and she's done that exceptionally well today.
To your point, 8th ground out of the game for Ayla Buford. That one tapped back by Kelsey Whitfield.
I mean, you mentioned the 3 extra base hits. That may be the only 3 hard-hit balls of this contest for Bradley's offense. Most of the ground balls have, I'm not going to say lazy, but, choppers, not with a ton of velocity on it.
And been mishits.
Yeah.
The 0-1. Changeup swung on and missed. That changeup has really made the difference in what Buford's been able to do.
Yeah, and be able to, instead of sit back and sit fastball and kind of key in on a location, now you've got to worry about velocity and high level. When a pitcher has those 2 pitches specifically, if I can say it right, working, it makes it really tough.
Hammered out to left field. That one is going to get down. It's off the top of the fence. It's going to carry him down towards the left field line. Whitfield's going to hold up at second with a 2-out double.
That one hit high off the fence. There, Kelsey Whitfield able to stay back and turn on it. And pulls that one, and now Bradley, a runner in scoring position, but with 2 outs.
I would add that to the list of hard-hit balls. That was an absolute rocket.
That's out of most parks. The fence here at Ferris Field, a lot taller than in most places. That's probably a home run at the majority of high school parks in this state. This elevated fence there keeps it in the yard.
Had to build it high for the college kids.
Losing too many balls out there at the Forest.
First pitch low to Aiden Alexander. Alexander has struck out swinging twice today, once in the second, once in the fourth. Fourth extra base hit of the night for Bradley.
And put the trees in and build the high fence to protect those fancy satellites from Arkansas PBS out there in the woods.
Catches the outside corner to even the count at 1-1. Fifth time Taylor and Bradley have played this year. The series split at 2-2. Another ball elevated in the zone that slapped foul.
Yes, for those who didn't watch this entire game, or they may, get online tomorrow morning and find out who won the contest, and the score holds, of course. And they say, well, that wasn't very close, but they were clearly the better team. That's not necessarily the case.
Right.
And this one certainly has gotten out of hand, but these 2 teams were even all season long. 11-11 in the run differential in the 4 games leading up to this one.
Foul tipped.
Nice play. Caught that with the ribs and the bare hand.
Yeah, she caught that for strike 3. Nice play behind the plate by Lindsay to get the strikeout of Aiden Alexander as Ayla Buford works around a 2-out double. Taylor still up 9-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Can you see her greatness? When you attend her games, when you cheer her on, or when you participate in any way, you support your community and make it better, and you will see her greatness. Join us as we pledge to increase the visibility of women's sports in our communities. It makes a difference when we all are involved. At Everett Buick GMC, we proudly support our local female athletes and encourage you to do the same. See her greatness.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app.
Many of the stories told about kings and queens have been spun. Who knows where facts and fibs may take us next?
This would have been your grandfather's experience, and it's really quite dramatic.
Hell in frozen water.
The war really mattered to Elizabeth. She is growing in confidence.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS video app.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
Let's go! For a copy of any of the state championship games, go to mnmproductions.net to place your order. 2-3-4 coming up for the Taylor Tigers in the bottom of the 6th inning, leading by 7. It will be Madison Lindsay, Reese Fowler, and Maggie McHenry. Michaela Downs waiting should anybody reach. Lindsay 2 for 3. down in the count 0-1.
Just a little early on that one, but that was hammered down the right field line.
Go off speed here?
I would. After that, you gotta change the bat speed and the eye level, I'm guessing.
Comes back with a strike on the outside corner. That's a big pitch.
Nothing you can do with that. That's just perfectly placed on the outside black.
That's a confidence pitch.
It is.
A very confident pitch. Moore has looked very good at times inside the circle tonight. 0-2. Taken low.
The big difference really is she has to learn to live on that outer third. I think she's just missed too much over the heart of the plate today, and that's what led to some of these big innings and hard hit balls for Taylor. Really good pitcher. You can see the talents there, and that's why she's going to the next level.
That one ripped out to right field. That gets down. Now it gets back to the fence. Lindsay turning for 2. She wants 3. Into third base, standing up is Madison Lindsay. That ball got past Alexander in the outfield, got all the way to the fence, and Lindsay, all gas, no brakes, all the way to third.
Yeah, that's just tough. That was a hard hit right at the outfielder there for Bradley Alexander, and there's really nothing you can do except for throw your body in front of it, and that one skirts by her, and now the winning run, or I guess the game-ending run, if you will, 60 feet away.
Standing in is Reese Fowler. Takes the strike on the outside corner. So it does go down as a single with a 2-base error. And there's turf outfield here at Ferris Field as well, so the infield plays a little bit different. The outfield, the hops aren't going to be like traditional grass. It's a little bit of an adjustment. The 0-1. Lifted, foul.
So instead of taking that big hop towards an outfielder, more of a scoot and stays low.
Right.
We've got to learn. Obviously, these teams don't play on turf a ton, especially at the smaller school level. It's really hard to adjust to that.
Well, the turf across the sport is becoming more popular. You're seeing more and more teams go to it. Benton obviously has an all-turf field. The 0-2. That one kicks away. Lindsay stays put. Good idea. You never want to run yourself into an out at home.
Especially with no one out.
Taylor has been so aggressive on the bases tonight. It's almost a surprise to see them stay put, but important to know the situation. 1-2 to Fowler. Line out into left center field. That's going to do it as Lindsay comes in to score on the game-ending double off of the bat of Reese Fowler.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe. I was told we were doing run rule. We will get back to you as it does look like we will. So, my correction, it is a 10-run rule. The collegiate level, it is win by 8, so it is 10 runs. Taylor up 10-2 now in the bottom of the 6th. There you go. So after 5 complete, a team has to be ahead by 10 or more. Bottom of the 6th inning, Taylor up 10-2. Low and in, misses to Maggie McHenry. Gets through the 5-6 hole. Fowler will stop at third, and McHenry on with another single.
She's had herself a really good day at the plate, and you can say that a lot about this Taylor lineup. 1 through 4, 1 through 5 have done a majority of the damage, but Taylor just continues to hit. It doesn't seem to matter where they throw it, where they hit it. It's finding a hole. 14 hits now for Taylor.
Lady Tigers continue to pound away at the plate. First 3 runners in the inning have reached. Out to center field, but playable. Weems is there. Sacrifice fly as Fowler tags. and make it now 11-2 in favor of the Lady Tigers.
Nice job just to do the job for Downs there. You know, you've got a runner at third. Just lift that one into the outfield, push her home, and inch ever closer to that state championship.
I like that saying. Say it again. I liked it when I heard it. Did you do?
I have no idea. Yeah.
I'm giving you credit. You don't even know what you said. Okay. Off and running. Kicks away as McHenry is into second base.
You know, now I'm going to wake up at like 3:30 in the morning. It's like, oh, that's what I said. Or I could just get on YouTube next week and watch it again.
Yeah, you could. You could.
Shameless plug, youtube.com/Arkansas PBS.
I was gonna say you could text me, but please don't text me at 3 o'clock in the morning. The 1-0. Called strike on the inside corner. Moore continuing to battle inside the circle. .113 pitches. Cut on and missed. Just got enough of that. Foul ball. McClellan 1 for 3, struck out looking in the first, singled in the third, and grounded into a fielder's choice back in the fifth. Foul ball. Good chase from Kellner, couldn't quite come up with it. And so McClellan will continue to battle inside the box.
Just couldn't get out of the stance and locate it fast enough. Kellner's done a pretty nice job behind the plate. For Bradley, obviously a huge bat in the lineup. Can't underestimate what she's done defensively either.
Catchers have a tough job behind the plate. 1-2. Tried to go upstairs, but a hold from McClellan evens the count.
Even with a 9-run lead in the bottom of the sixth, Taylor's not taking any at-bat for advantage, for granted, I should say. They're grinding out every pitch, every at-bat. That's a mark of a good team.
Over to the right side, second. Bobbled for a second, but the throw over to first. They will say McClellan beat it out. So McHenry advances over to third as McClellan reaches on the error. And now runners on the corners for Ashlyn Clark. Bump popped up. Good play over at third. Bradley nearly doubled the runner off at first. And the run will come home from third as that ball got towards the outfield. That's McHenry crossing the plate for the game-winning run, and the Taylor Tigers 6 state championships in a row as they defeat Bradley 12-2.
That play is just kind of reminiscent of how this game went. You know, Bradley was in position to make a lot of plays. Now, don't give me a lot of credit to Taylor. They put the bat on the ball, but that is just another run scores on a miscue by Bradley, and unfortunately for the Lady Bears, that's how this one ends. But for a 6th consecutive year, the Tigers are ending the season with a celebration.
Now the Taylor Tigers take the state championship. We're going to take a break. We will be right back with the trophy presentation after this on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Want to see even more Arkansas stories? Subscribe to Arkansas PBS on YouTube for original productions, extras from your favorite local programs, behind-the-scenes videos, and our exclusive coverage of high school sports. All available on demand and all Arkansas made. Don't miss out on more great Arkansas stories. Subscribe now.
Arkansas, what's in your attic? Find out what your heirlooms, antiques, and unique collectibles are worth. Join us for the filming of a brand new show, Arkansas Treasures. Your contribution of $120 admits you and a guest to bring 2 items to our team of professional appraisers for an evaluation at a special event in the Arkansas PBS studios. And if your item and story are selected for filming, you may end up on our show. Additionally, your contribution gets you a 1-year membership to Arkansas PBS, including our monthly member magazine and access to PBS Passport, where you can stream thousands of hours of incredible PBS content. This special event happens on August 5th and 6th in Conway. Tickets will go quickly, so guarantee your spot by calling now or visiting our website. Simply scan the QR code with your phone. Your treasure may be worth more than you know.
Welcome back to Ferris Field, where the Taylor Tigers have won their 6th consecutive state championship, defeating rival Bradley 12-2. And Bobby, it was really the offensive firepower of the Lady Tigers that made the difference tonight.
It was, and it started at the top of the line, but it also started the first batter of the game for Taylor. You're talking about Buford steps up, and they go single, a double, a triple in that first inning, and it was just an onslaught of aggressive play at the plate from start to finish. They knew they were facing a really good pitcher in Moore. They just didn't let her settle in, and they attacked her early in counts.
Taylor on the receiving end of that trophy, a feeling that they know well and have experienced time and time again. Taylor, just the 2nd team in Arkansas State history to win 6 consecutive state championships, joining Foreman, who did it from 2006 to 2011. Taylor getting performances from all across the field, and now getting the banner. The hardware, the banner, you get some rings. There's a lot to commemorate here tonight at Ferris Field.
Just think about that. 6 consecutive state championships, and it's not even the first time it's ever been done. And fast-pitch softball, I believe, started in 1998. For that to happen twice, I know there's obviously multiple classifications, but it just speaks to the program that was built in Taylor, and obviously what Coach McHenry has been able to build on the last 2 seasons. Really, really impressive. And that squad right there, really good chance to be back, because we talked about how young they were, right in the middle, top to the bottom of their lineup. Don't be shocked if Bradley's not back here playing for a title again next year.
I would not be shocked to see the Lady Bears. A lot of young talent on that team. They'll remember this valuable experience playing in a state championship, even on the losing side, and a well-played game today from Bradley. They fought.
They did. They never gave up. They just ran into a really hot offensive team today, and we're going to see the highlights. Taylor just pounded the softball. I mean, from start to finish, they put it in play. They put pressure on Bradley's defense, and these weren't just soft liners. They were banging it off the fence.
Now, Bradley got on the board first with a solo home run from Jackie Kellner in the first, but then Taylor's bats went to work. They got 3 in the first, 2 more in the second. Up the middle off of the bat of Madison Lindsay. That plated 1. And then in the third, Maggie McHenry started off with the triple, ended up scoring on the wild pitch. Bradley fighting back in the fourth. That was the RBI single off the bat of Chelsea Whitfield to plate Ainsley Moore. Had a pair of doubles today, did the pitcher. But then Taylor going back to work. They got 3 more in the 5th inning off of a pair of suicide squeezes. And then 3 more in the bottom of the 6th inning. First 3 batters reached. As Lindsay, Fowler, McHenry all got on base. And then coming in, sacrifice fly plated 1 more. Taylor able to score 12 runs. Pounded out 15 hits on their way to a 6th consecutive state championship. This is just the first day of high school state championships on Arkansas PBS Sports. We hope you'll join us for our next game coming up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. It is the 4A baseball state finals. It's Lowen versus Ashdown.
Should be a good one, of course. 4 more championships tomorrow, 4 more on Saturday right here on Arkansas PBS. So don't go anywhere. Just don't change the channel. Just leave it here, and we'll get you some high school action, baseball and softball over the next 48 hours.
Plenty more still to come this weekend. So for our entire crew here at Arkansas PBS and Bobby Swafford, I'm Dorian Kraft saying good night. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.